Gloria is a woman of God, guided by faith, grace, and purpose. Gloria's life is rooted in love, prayer, and a deep commitment to walking in alignment with His will. As an artist, Gloria expresses what words cannot, bringing light, emotion, and truth into every piece she creates. Her creativity is not just a gift, but a calling, allowing her to inspire, uplift, and reflect God's beauty through her work. Gloria strives to live authentically, create passionately, and serve faithfully in all that she does. Welcome, Gloria Lay. I have Gloria Lay here, straight from Tennessee, to join Still Finding My Voice. Gloria, I'm so excited that I've got to give you the drum roll entrance here.
Here she is, Gloria.
She's here. She's here. Okay. So, how is Tennessee, Miss Gloria?
Well, I had to move all the way here to find my voice.
You did. That's quite a chore.
Yeah, a long way to go.
It certainly is.
I don't think I really ever had a voice. Well, just I guess a lot of things in life, you just kind of get lost. And so it's taken a long time for me to find it. I'm finding it. I'm still in the process of finding it.
Well, you're the perfect guest for Still Finding My Voice because you're finding it, I'm finding it together.
Yeah.
On a journey.
Yes, absolutely.
I love all the art pieces that you show us on Instagram. They're beautiful.
Well, I've always kind of been creative, but I started doing the painting during COVID when I got laid off. And then I don't even know. I started doing it and I started posting them just for fun, And then I had a lady reach out from Texas and she wanted to do a commission piece and I didn't want to do it. She wanted like a 4 foot by 5 foot. And I've never done one that big. And I'm like,
well, how the heck would you even get it to Texas?
Yeah. So I decided that I was going to quote her like what I thought was a lot of money because I didn't want to. I'm thinking it was too big for me. And then she kind of told me what she wanted. She's kind of eclectic and gave me freedom to do. She just told me colors and then gave me the freedom to do whatever, which when you do paint pouring, you don't really have a whole lot of control. I told it. So I quoted her this amount and I'm thinking, oh, thank God I don't have to do it. And then she goes, oh, well, that's great. I was like, you're kidding me. I'm like, I don't want to do it,
Did you tell her that?
No, not till after we became friends and all that. But
right.
So I asked her what colors and she's like, well, how long do you think it'll take you? And I'm like, well, a couple months, probably that big of a picture. I just was self-taught. So I really didn't know even if I could pull it off, So she goes, well, I can send you half and you could buy the materials. And then I'm really obligated. So she did. And
no pulling back now.
So I did it and it took me a couple months and then it was crazy. I drove it to her. She was my first client.
You drove it?
I drove it. I think I had a Kia Sorento. It was pretty big back there.
Oh.
No, I couldn't want to send it via mail or UPS. It could get ruined or whatever. Ended up driving it out there. But like I said, she's very eclectic and her house it's got a lot of weird stuff in there. But anyways, so she put it in her dining room and used it as a focal point. And it was just weird that, you just do a hobby, if you will, and now someone actually wants to buy your art. It's been a crazy ride so far. But her house is in a magazine right now. And one of the pictures is my painting.
No kidding.
Yeah. So it's pretty weird. And then another girl sent one of my paintings to a magazine out in California in Culver City. I did an article and I've done my second article now on art. So it's a little crazy. But it's fun. Beautiful. It's a good outlet for me.
Understood.
Yeah.
Can I ask you what the commission piece looked like? Like, what did she want?
It's just the paint pouring. So the paint, you kind of manipulate the paint by putting the paint on the canvas and then tilting the
Oh,
paint.
spinning it?
No, you
Tilting it.
kinda take it and you tilt it, like, you see that right there? It's probably hard. I mean,
Yeah,
I know
right.
the camera really doesn't pick up the colors in that, but, I did that painting with a paper towel. So, anyways, her painting was, green, like emerald greens and gold, and then I did like a geode look on it. Then she went to Mardi Gras, and she said, "I'm sending you something in the mail, and I want you to put it on the painting." And I'm like, my gosh, okay. Well, she sent me alligator necklaces and wanted me to take the alligators off of the necklace. They were plastic, like maybe 2 inches long, and she wanted me to place the alligators random on the painting. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh,
Okay,
okay."
that's interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting. So we named the painting, Swamp Soiree, however you call it. It's like an alligator party, I don't know. It's an eclectic piece. I just, maybe not my taste really, but she gave me, artistic freedom, which I don't wanna do a piece where I kinda am told how to do it or what to do.
Right.
You know,
Lose
I
the
I think it takes away the creativity for me
Mhm.
if I go in and create a piece and then, I did a big angel wing for my mom. I had a girl interested in it, and, a couple years ago, I did a painting, and it reminded me of my mom, and I sold
Mm.
it, and I wish I wouldn't have sold it now, and,
Oh,
so this painting I just did, I did some modeling paste, and I created wings, and I painted it gold, and somebody offered me money and I said no. So only because I regret the other one, getting rid of it.
right,
I'm like, no,
right.
maybe not right now. Gas prices get higher, I'll probably say, okay. So yeah.
When I first met you, you were doing cupcakes for quite a
Uh-huh.
while. They were
Yeah.
so gorgeous and delicious. Do you still
No.
make cupcakes periodically? I know not as a business.
I still have people ask, oh, you have a cupcake business? And I'm like, no, but I'll do them occasionally for a wedding or for a special occasion, but I still do that a little bit. I like to
I
bake.
remember you had orange icing
Hmm.
on it was in a swirl design, and
Hmm.
you had little crystal colored sprinkles or something. It was so beautiful. Never seen a cupcake like that. And you were
Yeah, it's
working for Disneyland for a little bit,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, they
Making
were
cupcakes?
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
that was fun. But I don't know. We'll see how the artwork goes. And I make hats. I just dabble in a little bit of everything out here, so
Fried the hats, the way you hand painted cowboy hats are so they're probably not cowboy hats. What do you call them?
wide brimmed hat.
Wide brim hats.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, they
they're
have laurels. I
beautiful.
wouldn't yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's like I said, I think that's my outlet. My creativity outlet is painting. I go out to my little she shed and one side of it is the hats and the other side's the painting and it's just whatever you feel.
I love that. So what does
Yeah.
John do when you go out and paint?
I don't know. I try to, you know, stay in my own lane. I don't know. Yeah, he stays busy. We have a dog. His name's Ace, and he's crazy, but he deals with him. He's really pretty, but he's a
Yeah.
handful. He's crazy. We call him Crazy Ace because he's crazy.
This
He's about right now. He's about 90 pounds, and
Oh,
he's
he
about
is.
he'll
Wow.
be 2 in June. Yeah, he's pretty big. He's what they call an American Standard Lab. So they have, like, the English
Oh,
labs with
okay.
blockheads, and he's the sporty version, so he's got a lot of, energy. His dad actually is a champion duck dog, so he's got that part of him. They said that he's more hyper or because of the champion bloodline. He's wants to go and
Mm.
and run and do and find and get and I'm like, wow, if I would have known, I would have got a chihuahua.
Now is he full grown at that weight or not yet?
I think he'll stay right about that. He's going to be 2, so I'm assuming he'll stay at that weight. And maybe I'm assuming he'll stay around there. Hopefully not any bigger, but I don't
Yeah, he's
know.
got the cutest face. I love the
Yeah,
pictures you post online too. Real close of his nose, big eyes.
if you have food, he's right there. What do you got? I want some. So
feed them, put the food in their bowl. They look at me like, really? That's all? That's all we're getting tonight? Like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I can sit and
Yep.
and he'll just and drool. Drool just runs, and I'm like, "That is nasty," but he's a good watchdog. So how have you been?
I've been great. Thank you. This has been such a blessing, this whole podcast. Like you, I have that creative outlet and I have to do
Mhm,
something with it. But the podcast, I realize, I think you understand this as you've heard from the beginning, that I can say whatever I want to say. I can
mhm.
talk. No one's going to tell me, you're a great dancer. Just don't open your mouth, like that lady did. That's what she said. And, that was so harmful. But now this is my platform.
Yeah,
So I
you
can
can say
say
what
what I
you
wanna say. I can have the guests that I wanna have, and it's such a blessing. It's just really fulfilling for me. And then the editing has been a real challenge, but
Yeah,
I've learned so much, you
mhm.
know, going through the editing process. And now I outsource an editor, but only when I get to a point where I'm like, "I have no clue how to fix this." So, I'm really grateful.
Yeah. It's hard. The reason I'm going back home is, the kids. It's like, out here, it's just been tough. I John and I have been talking, and I'm like, "I just wanna go home," you know?
Yeah, I
Kids
don't
are
blame
there, the
you.
grandkids are there, we spend holidays
Mm.
by ourselves, and, I don't wanna do that. For what? I wouldn't mind if I had to live an hour away or whatever, but I'm clear across the United States. So it's not like you can just hop on a plane. I am going out there, but I'm driving. It's gonna be like 3 or 4 days with a dog,
Oh, wow.
you know? Yeah, I'm ready to go home.
We're shooting for July, correct? To move
The
back
end of
home?
this month.
Oh,
The
end
end
of
of
this
this month.
month.
The end of this
Wow.
month, I'm going to visit, and then that'll, help me make my decision of when the move would be or
Have a great church, which I'm really grateful for.
really. I thought moving out here to the Bible Belt that because I was going to Free Chapel in Irvine with Jensen Franklin. I left Cottonwood and, I love it,
Yeah.
and then I came out here and I thought, "Okay, there'll be churches like that out here." There isn't. I've been to
Ooh.
probably 4 different churches, and it's tough because you don't have that church family to, rely on or anything. So,
Mhm.
that's been another tough way to go, but I watch him on TV every Sunday, so I get that, but it's not the same as going, you know? You need that
Right.
the
Being around
fellowship.
that community.
So that's been hard too, and, my mom I don't have any family out here, so it's
Mhm.
been tough, really tough, so I'm not sure where we're gonna move yet. That's about it, just doing the painting. It's real quiet, it's beautiful out here, it's pretty.
Which part of Tennessee are you at?
I'm in East Tennessee. You know how it's,
East
like, long?
Tennessee.
I'm way up in the corner, almost into
Oh,
Kentucky, but like I said, it's really beautiful. I'm fortunate for neighbors. I have great neighbors, which I never had back home, because no one really talks to
yeah.
anybody out there.
Right.
So
California,
but
forget it. You're on your own.
yeah, you say hi and they're like, "What?" But they've been really nice out here, really friendly, but we just haven't found a church, so I feel like, "Okay, Lord, what'd you bring me out here for?" You know?
Yeah.
At first I thought, "Well, was it the right move?" I don't know. Sometimes I feel like God gets us by ourselves so that we don't have the outside distractions. Maybe my relationship wouldn't be
Mm.
what it could have been or should have been with all the outside distractions till I came out here. It's like isolated. Smart bird feeder, and it goes off all the time.
You have a smart bird feeder. Well, I haven't heard of that. I'm not up to date on the newest bird feeder technology.
Well, no,
Could you please explain that?
yeah, he got us a smart bird feeder. So we have a lot of different birds out here. And so the smart bird feeder, you can watch the birds eat and
Oh,
so
wow.
it's pretty cool because like I said, they have a lot of different species out here. But we have these doves that are fat, and I know it's because they spend all their time on the bird feeder. So you can there's a microphone also. So I'll open the microphone and I'm like, "Get out, you're done." And let someone else eat food. So they get all scared because 'cause they're like, "Where did that come from?" Because it's a voice, you know? So
Right.
it's like, "Ding, ding, ding, you're done."
Oh,
So,
that is too funny.
yeah.
You're the supervisor of the bird feeder.
So it's fun to watch them, but
That is really cool. Have you
yeah.
videotaped it, or do
Yeah,
you get to
I'll
keep the
send you a video.
files? Oh,
Yeah,
that would be lovely.
we have, red cardinals, like really, really bright red, and we have blue jays and chickadees, and we have doves, and we have polka dotted woodpeckers, and,
Wow.
then once in a while, we get a squirrel on there, and I'm like, "Hey, get out of here."
Come
You
out
know?
with your shotgun.
Yeah, or we just send the dog out. "Go get him," you
There
know?
you go. Ace could scare him
Yeah.
away.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So that's it, but
So, Gloria, is there
uh
anything you want to say to the audience for Still Finding My Voice about how you're learning to find your voice? Some encouragement?
Well, let me see. I feel like for me, I'm finding my voice through art, just expressing myself, through the art and learning to accept that people think of mistakes as major stumbling blocks, I guess. Even in art,
Mm,
you might see something like I've said before, I'll see something and I scrape it instead of looking at it like, oh my gosh, I screwed up. It doesn't look right. It's almost like going through a hard time and then you're putting it behind you. When I look at my canvas and if I do something that I just don't like it or it doesn't resonate with me for some reason, maybe the colors ran and they're nasty or ugly or I
right.
just scrape it and it feels good to scrape it because I got rid of it. It's not like this canvas is wrecked and now I got to throw the whole thing away. I can start over.
Very creative way to adjust it. I
Right.
love that.
Yeah. So it's finding your voice. When I heard your podcast, you were still finding your voice and everybody's finding their voice, whatever walk they are in their life,
Right,
whether going through a death, a divorce, a major move, or, just life in general as we get older, especially women, life's hard on women.
right.
Men have it easy. I always say men can be fat and bald and it's okay. And they're still can you imagine? You know what I mean? I just feel like they can gain a little weight and it's okay. Or they can lose their hair and it's okay. And, you know what I mean? As far as us,
I understand what
life
you're
is
saying.
hard
It's
as
more
it is.
acceptable
Right.
in society.
Yeah, so we
Right.
gotta find our voice. Just because we're getting older and things change, we still have a voice.
You know what? I don't live up to anybody else's expectation. I'd put on a couple pounds, and you know what? That's okay for right now.
You got wrinkles, you go to the dermatologist
I
and if you
sure do.
you see these people getting all this, Botox, which is fine if that makes them feel better about themselves. They should do it because not to impress anybody else or say, well, I gotta look this way. If you want to do something like that, do it for yourself.
Right.
I always said if I ever did it, I wouldn't want to look. I have a friend that's in Huntington Beach area, and whenever I go out there, I go see her, and we just talk and laugh. And she goes, "Oh, let's do this." I'm like, "No, I don't want to look like I'm trying to be, 25, 30 years old. I
Yeah.
want to, obviously, there's certain things you wouldn't mind getting rid of, but it's just sad to me. Like I said, if you want to do that, do it for yourself, not because someone else
Right.
thinks you need to get rid of. I went to the dermatologist the other day and the lady goes, you should, have you thought about this? And I'm like, thought
Oh,
about what? She goes, well, I do my 11s and I do this, I do my crow's feet. And I was like, oh, wow.
you go right ahead and do
Yeah.
those.
And I'm like, well, she does. She looks good. I don't think I'm ready for it.
So when you come to California, I'll schedule our Botox appointment, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, but,
Uh,
like I said, I do know people that do it and they don't overdo it, and I've seen people that have overdone it or whatever, but it's like it's learning to be okay with yourself.
right.
And that's hard. I'm still not
Absolutely.
okay with that. I went through eating disorder in my younger years and it's still there, but I'm learning to, I'm getting older and if you gain a little bit of weight, oh well. I keep telling myself that. I may not feel it, like it's still there, but it's
Right.
just working through and learning to accept yourself where you're at. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I have this thing outside. I don't know what it is. It's like a deer lookout thing they built, but we put it on there but the thing is I can see my whole yard because it acts like a cam too, where you can watch your yard. Like the other day when the realtors came, I go, "Oh,
I can watch them on the bird feeder. So so I got on the bird feeder and I could see them walking around. I can't hear them because
Right.
I probably could have said something and they're like, "Where'd that" you know what I mean? "Where's that coming
Hey,
from?"
don't step on that grass.
Yeah,
Who's
absolutely.
talking?
Yeah. So it's
That's
fun to
funny.
have it. I really have enjoyed it watching the different birds, and it's just peaceful watching them, but it's
That's
fun.
really cool.
Well, I'll send you a video of what I have. It's just a
Well,
couple.
also, if you know how to set it up, or John could help. However, because there's rabbits, there's roadrunners
Mhm.
every single day, and
Yeah,
quail, like a
yeah.
mama quail on the wall with like
Mhm.
5 little babies. It's just the coolest thing. And then there's a hole by a rock over here,
Uh-huh.
and the bunnies go inside the hole. So first thing Murphy does when he walks out, he's like, "Where's the bunny?" So but it's like wild, National Geographic out here.
I went to go to the kitchen to get water, and I seen this thing right by my kitchen window looking at me, and I'm like, "Oh, what the hell is that?" It was a big old buck with these big rack of horns. They're so cute. And then we have on the nanny cam, or I call it a nanny cam, but on the bird cam, the dog was going cuckoo, and I'm like, "What is going on?" And I looked, and there was a pig, a hog, like a 300
You're
pound.
like, "Babe."
I told John, where did that come from?" Anyway, so we have a albino skunk. So it's
Oh,
reverse. It's blonde. It's like white with a black
no
stripe.
kidding.
And it had like 4 little babies. And then we have moles, which are not good, I heard, because they
Right.
undermine your lawn and stuff.
Plumbing and yeah.
So I found a little tiny mole. I didn't know. I thought it was a platypus. And I'm like, what is this thing? Because they're blind and they have paddles for feet. And I told John, "What the heck is this?" And he said, "Oh, it's a mole." And so we took it around, drove it, we put it in a bucket, we drove around the lake, we dropped it off. I told my neighbor, I go, "Oh, I found a baby mole." He goes, "Did you kill it?" And I'm like, "No." He goes, "You need to kill them." And I'm like, "Why?" He goes, "Because they damage your lawn and they eat your garden." And I'm like, "I didn't kill it. I gave it to someone else. I put it by the lake."
Right, right.
But, yeah, so I have a garden right now. I grow tomatoes and cucumbers and jalapenos, and
Fun.
we have wild rabbits here, but the deer like tomatoes, so I have to kinda, like, put screen around it, so
Right.
but yeah, that part I'll miss, but I
Yeah.
think I've grown during that time, during I mean,
It's a hard way to grow.
yes,
It's
it's
really
it's
hard, but it's
very
so
hard.
important. And God, I was listening to Jesus calling this morning and talking about how God grows us through the hard season.
Mhm,
And I'm so reliant on myself.
yeah.
I forget to go, okay, this is hard, God, what do I do? And wait for his direction. Because I think I have all the answers, and I know I don't.
It's kinda like when I was thinking about, when we be careful what we pray for. It's like if we
Mhm.
pray for strength, where I was like, "Okay, Lord, help me. Give me your grace and help me with strength." And it's like strength comes through lifting weights, and then you build muscle.
Right.
So if we're asking for strength, it's not built through comfort.
That's right.
It's done with resistance, which are your weights or hard times if you convert it the other way.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to be careful with what I ask for. I'm sure
Well, how about asking for blessings?
yes. One time I had a friend. She was a very strong Christian woman, but she was
Yeah.
strange. She asked God like when she could go to bed, when she could eat, when she could use the restroom, all these things. I'm like, and then one time her and I were talking and I was saying, I'm just asking God to move and, favor. And she's like, "God is not a Santa Claus." And I'm like, "Well, okay." And I'm like, "Well, he's my Santa Claus. He may not be yours." But she told me that. And it's like, that's kind of like a double-edged sword because it says, "Ask anything in my name and you will receive it."
Absolutely. See, I'm doing more of that, and it's helping my brain retrain all that negative stuff that I've been telling myself, neuroscience, to where you're speaking out Bible verses, training your brain to think like God wants us to think. And I've been working on that. It's really helpful because I'm done with all that self-criticism, all that condemnation. I've
Yeah.
had it my whole life.
Yeah.
Now it's time to move forward and say, okay, this is a beautiful day. What do you want me to do, God? We've
Yeah.
got sunshine.
Yeah.
We're breathing still.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
And we're just like you said, we're no longer a spring chicken. So got
No.
to make the most of it. Might as well be positive, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
beneficial.
I've always I come from negative background, if you will. So it's hard to you have to retrain your brain. It's like
Yeah,
take every thought
absolutely.
captive, like it says
Yes,
in the
just
Bible.
like it says.
Yeah.
I found a verse I'm going to add to my podcast. Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of those who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly. Defend the rights of the poor and needy.
Mhm.
And that's from Proverbs 31, 8 and 9. I just found that this morning. And
Mhm.
I thought, you know what? That's the perfect verse because
Yeah.
this truly represents I didn't have a voice and I didn't know what to do. And God had that voice silent for all these years. And
Yeah.
okay,
Well, he's
speak up for those
preparing
who
you,
can't speak up.
anything else, it's like, when you wanna to me, I look at it 'cause I like to cook, but it's like, if I want a certain meal, you gotta prepare for that meal to get to the end result, you know?
Mm,
So, I feel like in my walk with God, I have to prepare. If I'm not ready for something, if I'm asking God for something and if I'm not ready, he's gonna prepare me for that, you
right.
know?
Absolutely.
So if he just threw me into winning the lottery, what would I do with that? What would I don't even want to know. You know what I mean? It's like I maybe that was a poor example. I'm just
No,
saying,
it's a great example because just like you said, he will give you the blessings when he's prepared you or when you're ready in
mhm,
his eyes.
mhm,
Sometimes it comes out of nowhere. Like for me, the podcast came out of nowhere, but it
yeah,
makes sense now. And
mhm,
you're stepping out in obedience and you put the house on the market, whether you wanted to or not, you knew that the next step was to put it on the market. And
right,
that's hard because you've been there
yeah,
3 years and it's gorgeous. I can
yeah.
imagine your backyard. I've seen
It's
pictures. I'm just
huge.
like, wow, that's
Yeah, that's
awesome.
that's the that's well, I look at the shed in my workspace and it's like, okay, well, I have to trust God because I read something, I can't remember what it was, but it was like, God's preparing you ask for this, but he's preparing you for so much more,
Right.
you
And
know?
what could so much more be in our minds when we're settled with what we have? It's hard sometimes to see how much grander and magnificent and more divine it can be.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's so true.
Yep.
I
Yep.
get to talk to you on a podcast.
That's
It's
crazy.
lovely. And your kids will have that. You
Yeah, I'm
talking on a
excited. I haven't
podcast.
told them yet, so I'm excited for that.
I'm
Wait to see you in person, give you a big old hug.
I'm ready for that hug.
Mhm. Yeah.
All right. Well, Gloria, I'm so grateful that we've had this time to talk together. Thank you for joining Still Finding My Voice. As we wrap up,
Uh,
how can people get a hold of you to look at your artwork or social media? Would you like to share any of that information?
well, my artwork is the wildflower soul art, which is wildflower_soul art. That's
Okay.
where a lot of my art is, so they can message me or whatever. I do
Okay.
show it on Facebook, but if they want to look at the art I've done, that's where they'll find it.
Okay, great. And what about the magazine from Bold Journey and Canvas Rebel? Is there a way to purchase that or view that?
They can view it on if you go Google search and you just
Okay.
put Canvas Rebel and Gloria Lay or Bold Journey Gloria Lay, it'll come up.
Okay.
They can
So I'll
read all.
add that in the show notes so everybody
Okay.
can see what you were talking about in your beautiful art.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope you get an opportunity to take a look at her work at wildflower_soul art. I'll add the links and a couple pictures we can add of her beautiful work. Please join our Facebook group. It's called Still Finding My Voice Community. See you next time.